In an occurrence almost as surprising as Reggie announcing his retirement from out of nowhere, we barely got any Smash Bros. Information in the most recent Nintendo Direct. Now, I wasn't one of those entitled people who was extremely disappointed in the entire Direct as a whole just because they didn't show one thing that I was hoping that would be in it. However, I can understand how this comes as a shock to many people who are used to seeing these Smash Bros. Announcements in Nintendo Directs, as they seem like an opportune time to show off some new stuff. It almost seemed like a lock going into the most recent Direct that we would at least get some Joker gameplay, or even a new character for that matter, but neither of those ended up happening. What we did get concerning Super Smash Bros. In the Direct was pretty lacking. We got a release frame for Joker, which is April, not even a concrete date. We got some semblance of images of what he's gonna look like. We got an announcement of a version 3.0 update for the game coming. Oh yeah, that's pretty interesting. Oh wait, they just told us that the update's coming and not anything about the update. Man, that's some good information right there. But don't worry, we got some amiibo to talk to you guys about. Yep. That's exciting. This just really left a lot of fans wondering why they omitted so much information that people are wondering about concerning Smash Bros. Out of this Direct, and if they're saving it for some other Smash Bros. Direct in the future or something like that. So because of all these questions that people are having about the future of Super Smash Bros. Ultimate, in this video I'll be going over when I believe that the remaining DLC characters for Smash will be revealed and potentially when they'll release. So it's relatively needless to point out that the majority of this video is going to be speculation on my part, but I am going to try to rely on some previous information that we've been given, as well as some patterns that Nintendo has used for this sort of thing. I strongly encourage you to leave your thoughts in the comment section down below on what you think the plan is for this. With that all being said, let's get started. So when I believe that the next information pertaining to Super Smash Bros. Will be announced is in April. And no, this isn't just because Joker's supposed to come out in April. I believe that we're going to be getting a complete Super Smash Bros. Direct by this time. Not a full-on Nintendo Direct, because I think that Nintendo could go from February to June without a full-on Direct within there. It may happen. We have seen April Directs in the past. I just don't think it's very likely, considering that we're likely to get a Pokemon Direct very soon to reveal Generation 8, as all signs are pointing to that being revealed very soon. And if Nintendo were to give us some Smash Bros. Information in April, it would satisfy a lot of fans and answer a lot of questions, and probably satisfying them enough that they wouldn't need another full-on Direct before E3, when it's presumed that Nintendo would go all out in showing the big games that people are wondering about, such as Animal Crossing, and then even continuing on with the Generation 8 information. But is there really enough information that we have to find out about concerning Smash Ultimate that would warrant a complete Direct dedicated to it within April? And I think the answer to that question is yes. We already still have Joker gameplay to see. We still have to get that full-on trailer regarding Joker, and probably an in-depth analysis pertaining to him, like we saw in the reveal period of the Smash 4 DLC, where they go in-depth in a specific Direct as to what's going to happen with his moveset, and the stage, and the music, and all the stuff that's going to be comboed in with the character. The Direct would probably lead off with this information, considering that it's what many people are expecting and would get really excited about to kick it off, because gameplay of a new character in the game always gets people hyped up. If you kick it off with a bang and end with a bang, even if all the stuff in the middle isn't the greatest, people aren't going to remember that as much because they get excited at the start and excited at the end, and that normally dictates most of the emotions surrounding a specific event. And I believe that this information pertaining to Joker would probably take up a long time, considering that Nintendo would want to drag these things out, and they have been known to do so in the past, considering that the more they talk about this sort of thing, the more content it appears that you're going to be getting. It artificially makes it seem like there's a lot more content there, and Nintendo would want that because you're going to be going out and paying for this. Not everybody's purchased the Fighter Pass, maybe some people want to buy characters one by one. So, if they really want to sell you on Joker, they're going to spend as much time on the character as possible. In late 2015, when we got the final showcase for Super Smash Bros. 4's DLC, Nintendo spent roughly 8 minutes going over Corrin. That's including the reveal trailer, a moveset analysis, the final smash, the release date, and more. That is all stuff that they still have to talk about concerning Joker. It may not be that long, considering that we already know that the character exists, but I think it'll be around that time, especially considering that this is a third-party character, and Nintendo would probably want to put more spotlight on those characters, considering that some deals had to be made between the companies in order to get Joker in there. So I said that the Direct would likely lead off with Joker, but an 8-minute Direct for Super Smash Bros. Ultimate wouldn't be something that Nintendo would want to do. I think this Direct could be around 15 to 20 minutes long, because there's still a lot of stuff that they have to talk about other than just Joker. A Direct can't just be talking about new characters, but this one doesn't have to be, because you could go over what's in the version 3.0 update that they teased in the Direct, and what could be within this 3.0 update. Nintendo made it appear within the Direct as if this is going to be a massive update, considering that they tokened it the Ultimate Spring Update. So some things that I could see us getting in here are some new meat outfits, definitely some spirits, and potentially some new modes for the game. For the Ultimate Edition of Super Smash Bros., Nintendo really went out there and brought in a bunch of modes that fans have been requesting for. Squad Strike is a very notable one because it's almost like a regular tag team mode for Super Smash Bros., which is something that has been very highly requested from fans. Another mode that was really exciting is Smashdown. I've had so much fun with that mode. It's a really enjoyable experience, especially when you get down to the later parts of it and you're forced to play with some characters that you're not really good with. But if they don't want to add any new interesting modes like this, they could start making some of the modes that are only available offline available online, like the two that I just mentioned, which would be amazing to play online. If you're at a point in time when you don't have anybody around you to play these modes with, then you could hop online and play with some other people. It would be a bit more complicated to implement something like that for Smashdown because it's a long-term playing process, and playing with randoms probably wouldn't be the greatest idea. But for Squad Strike, I could definitely see that working. But at the end of this April Super Smash Bros. Direct, I think we would get the reveal of the second DLC fighter, and probably another long look into their moveset with a similar length, if not longer, than the spot that we get dedicated to Joker at the beginning of the Direct. There are some rumors that potentially Erdrick from Dragon Quest could be added as a character as the DLC. This is a character that I talked about in a previous video concerning potential leaked characters for Smash Ultimate. However, unlike the rest of the characters that I talked about in that video, Erdrick isn't entirely based off of rumors or leaks, as some data that was data mined from Super Smash Bros. Ultimate leads people to believe that Erdrick may be another character being added into the game. And if this is the case, I think this would be the perfect opportune time to reveal this character to be included, and here's why. For a Smash Bros. Direct, you're going to have many eyes on the product, and they're going to be mainly Nintendo fans who have the game or are interested in buying the game, and especially the DLC that's going to be coming out for it. It would be better to reveal a character whose main purpose of being included in the game is to promote the Dragon Quest franchise outside of Japan in a Nintendo event, rather than something that is going to be seen by many more people like the Game Awards or E3, when it would be better to include a large third-party icon from series that haven't really originated in Japan or aren't as popular there, considering that you have more people who are English speaking and from regions outside of Japan watching those events. So I think this character would be who's likely to be revealed at the end of this potential April Smash Bros. Direct. And now let's move on to the next event, where I believe that we'll be getting some information pertaining to these characters, which is E3. At E3, like I just mentioned, we'll probably get a major third-party icon revealed here, because more eyes are going to be on this presentation at this point in time. I don't know who this would be. If they announce a major third-party cross-promotion, maybe you could include a character with that. Just a character on the level of Joker I think would make sense here. Maybe not a Nintendo character, as you could save that for later on, but because there's many people who don't own Nintendo consoles watching E3, this is the perfect time to do something like that. A reminder will likely be done in this E3 spotlight for the character revealed in April, and just to say that their release date would be likely in July or August. Nintendo lately has liked to leave some ambiguity after they reveal a character as to when it will actually be coming out, so I think this will be the pattern going forward, where they don't immediately announce a release date and have you stay tuned and wait for later on to find out when that exact release period will be, because it gets more people talking about it, asking each other, hey, when's this coming out? When's this coming out? You search more about the game, gets more traffic coming to it, and in turn it's just a better decision to have people wanting to find out more information about something because they'll invest more into it. But out of all the events that I'm talking about in this video, E3 is by far the most likely to contain a new character for Super Smash Bros. Ultimate. I just can't see us going past E3 without a character reveal from in there. But then again, I thought the same thing about this most recent Nintendo Direct, so what do I know? A Nintendo Direct in September will likely have the 4th DLC character revealed and a release date for the E3 character around then, or maybe October. Nintendo has done a lot of September Directs in recent years. It's a consistent period of time where they like to put a presentation in there, and I don't see them skipping this year for that point in time. They seem to like the period of time between E3 and September for revealing new information, so if they want to continue that pattern, then it would make sense to have a Direct there, and it would only make sense to have some Smash Brothers information included in there. I would believe that the character that would be revealed in this September Direct would be a big Nintendo icon, if they're even going to have any big Nintendo icons as these characters. They may only be third-party characters, which would mean that there would have to be one here, but I think that in a Nintendo Direct, again, like I said earlier, when you have more Nintendo fans' eyes on it, it makes more sense to reveal a character that they're more familiar with in this type of situation. But for the final character, the 5th DLC character that they have planned, I think that there's many possibilities on the table for this. They've already announced that they plan to release all of the DLC characters by February of 2020. So if they're not going to delay that, and they're going to stick to this period, and it could very well be delayed. We've known Nintendo, they like to shake things up sometimes. I'll give 3 options here for what they may do. So they may do another final Smash Brothers DLC Direct like they did for Smash 4. And then potentially in this Direct, they'd get a release date for the 4th DLC character that was revealed in September, if it hasn't already come out by this point. They could do another Game Awards reveal, which would tie back to when they initially revealed Joker. Or they do a very early Nintendo Direct for 2020, like in January or something like that, and have the reveal there with an imminent release period. I believe that the 5th DLC character will have to be a very important one, as Nintendo would like to go out on a bang with this, I assume, unless they're doing something like another Fighter Pass, or more content that's going to be coming beyond that, which I don't believe to be true. A huge third-party icon or a huge Nintendo icon will probably be this character, and maybe a mix of the two. Maybe a character who has history on Nintendo, but is owned by a third party right now. I'm looking straight at you, Banjo-Kazooie. But again, let me know what you think about this in the comment section down below, when you think the DLC characters are going to be revealed, and who you think they will be. Check out some of the previous videos that I made about Super Smash Bros. Ultimate, linked for you on the screen right now. Remember to subscribe and click the bell icon so you don't miss any new videos about Smash and other Nintendo content coming very soon. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next time.